Hi everyone, I am Crystal Galladay, aka Coach Chris MG, and I host this mom talk for us to get together in a short period of time. Like I host this in my bathroom, my favorite bathroom in my house, because sometimes, let's face it, this is the only time we have time for ourselves. So I try to have topics that are relatable to everyone so that we can grow together as women and as moms and things of that nature. So, without further ado, I want to introduce Vida Bratton. She's a homeschooler and a market minister, and she's going to give us some great information today. So, Vida, welcome and thank you for accepting my invitation. When I first heard you speak, and this is like an impromptu lunch and learn, and you started like spitting knowledge, and I was like, ooh, I'm learning new things. So can you please tell the group, who is Vida?
Okay, hi. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I love doing things like this. I am a marketplace minister, and I'm a homeschool mom. I'm a wife. What else? Some people call me the connection queen, a conglomerate of different things. But the term marketplace minister sort of covers it all because I just believe that whatever it is God has called you to do, whatever it is He's called you to do, that is your place of ministry. And whether that's in the marketplace or whether that's actually in the church. I'm also a social media trainer, strategist. I was just on the phone with a friend this morning talking about the whole strategy concept. But I've been doing social media for years, so probably for about 6 or 7 years. I fell into it. And accidentally, totally, it was a total accident. And but hey, it worked. It stuck. And I'm a homeschool mom. I don't know if I mentioned that. Maybe I already mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that kind of leads my life right now.
Now, I could definitely imagine, like, you wear a lot of different hats, and I know a lot of us moms do. So why did you decide to homeschool, and how do you keep up to date? Because there's so many options out there, so many schools, especially in the area that we're in, that are good, bad, and different, offer different things. So just let us know more about the homeschooling aspect.
Okay, so my children were not initially homeschooled, and I actually was that person who looked at homeschool moms like, okay, like, so that's what we're doing, and wondering why they were choosing to homeschool. We didn't live in the DMV area at the time, and I'm an educator. I was a certified teacher, so I taught in the school system, and I just felt like there's so many options. Why would you homeschool? And the running joke is that my first full-time teaching as a certified teacher, because I taught under other different programs. I taught middle school, and I remember coming home during the first quarter, and I told my husband, you know what, I think we're gonna have to homeschool. But it was like a running joke. And my first son went on to a private school, a private day school in the area we were living in. And we ended up moving to the DMV. I'm actually from DC, but I moved years ago. But we moved here and me back. And it was time for them to go to school. We didn't think we were going to stay long. So I said, okay, I'll do public school. And we were actually blessed to get into the school that that I chose with some direction, and but it just wasn't a good fit. The culture was not a good fit for my children, and so we're going into they stayed in school 2 years. We're going into the third year. My oldest son pulls me aside and he says, "Mom, you know what?" He said, "I don't want to go back. I can't do this." It just was not a fit for various reasons, and it was probably September already when I decided. And, I was kind of on the fence, like, oh, I'm going to do it, I'm going to not. And meanwhile, God had dropped some women in my life who were homeschooling, had been homeschooling from the beginning. Another new mom who was homeschooling who just told me, she was just like, just rip the Band-Aid, just do it. And my husband kept saying, Vida, you're an educator. Like, you teach people's kids all the time. Like, it's different when it's your kids. But anyway, I ripped the Band-Aid, and it has been one of the best decisions. The community here in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area is awesome. It's amazing. I feel like anybody who ever thought that they might want to homeschool, that it is possible. The options are growing, actually, even for parents who are working full time. So it has been one of the best decisions. The crazy thing, Chris, was that I just never thought I would homeschool. I thought it was crazy.
You know what? You mentioned the DMV area, and we have a lot of great options here. But I know you had schooled me to like a homeschooling group, a Facebook page. And like, I know us moms on Mom Talk, we're from all different areas. So there's definitely resources that people can reach even outside of the DMV.
The DMV has tons of homeschool groups. I mean, you can go onto Facebook and get into that search bar and just start typing homeschool co-op, homeschool tutorials. So tutorials are sort of more the new age homeschool kind of approach where you have tutors and your kids are in groups. So it's almost like school, but not really. But for those who are leaving the school system, it is familiar. It is a familiar way of educating. But yeah, you get in that search bar. If you're in Tennessee, if you're in Memphis, Tennessee, you say Memphis, Tennessee homeschooling, and Christian homeschool, secular homeschool. You just pick what you want, and they are out there. And the community is so loving, so caring. I mean, it's there. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So let me ask you this, like, how do you stay up to date with homeschooling? Like, I know like in schools, they have curriculums, they have like Friday meetings and the teachers plan. Like, how do you stay up to date with like the skills the kids should be learning? Like, what are some resources you could share with us? And even though those who have children in a formal school, what are some things that we can do with our children at home?
Parent involvement is the key. Period. It doesn't matter whether you are homeschooling inside of a tutorial, maybe you're a full-time working parent, and your children are being homeschooled. If you're in the school, especially if your child is in the school, parent involvement is crucial. And much of what we want to see inside the school system, I am still an advocate of public education, private education. I mean, it's my heart. I believe every child deserves an opportunity to blossom into the fullness that God has called them to be. And that comes by way of being educated and equipped, however a parent chooses to do that. But the way I stay up to date is I'm a part of a tutorial. So we attend tutorial twice a week, and we can choose the classes we want to take a la carte. So the first year, we only did each child only did one class in tutorial. And I let them do the class that they were more strong. They were the strongest, right? So for one child, that was math. For another child, that was English. And so that's the course we did. Because I said, well, we're making a really big change. I'm going to put them in the tutorial to see how I like it. But I'm going to put them in a class that I know that they are naturally apt to do well in. And that was a success. And so this year, I have one child who is taking all four classes, four core classes. So math, science, history, English. And then I cover art, I cover PE, health, art, and music. And then whatever else, like one of my children today, he was applying for entrepreneurs, kids entrepreneur fair, kids business fair. So he applied for like 5 or 6 places to go and sell his comics. He authored and illustrated his first comic book. And so that was part of, and that's entrepreneurship. Like they don't do that in school. But my youngest one takes 3 classes. In English, I teach him because one thing we figured out when he was in school is that they don't teach phonics in schools. Some teachers do teach phonics, but phonics is not a mandated, something to teach. And so we noticed that my child was having some difficulty with decoding, not with comprehension or anything like that, but with decoding. And I knew, parents know, I knew that we're having an issue. And so I do language arts with him, for all you parents out there who may have children dealing with any issue as it relates to reading, anything Orton, Gillingham based, is going to be an exceptional tool that you can use for your kids. And so with the tutorial, that's part of the assistance. And then when you're in school, you only do one elective a day. So we only have to do art technically one day a week, music technically one day a week. And so if it's Monday and their core work is done, one child may sit down and do art. They may play an instrument, and they may get it all done in one day. That's the other thing. There are no time restraints around homeschooling, which is great because my husband is an entrepreneur as well. He's a comedian and one of DC's finest, shameless plug.
Yeah, what's his name? Because I love to laugh, and I need some laughs every now and then.
He's a clean comedian, Vida Bratton, and we've been blessed to be able to travel to many places. So we just put the whole family in the minivan that I was never going to get because there was nothing cute about that. Yes, we have that called the Brat Pack Mobile, and yeah, we travel and we go everywhere. We take them. He has a show in Charlottesville in April, and I went to UVA. So I'm like, okay, we're going to either go down the night before, stay and go to Monticello, or do different things, take the boys on grounds, whatever. And we just get to do whatever we want, however we want.
I love it. You take that classroom on the road because it's really your show. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And if you have any sites or resources to share with us, please send it my way right after this, and I'll put it in the recap email.
Okay. Yeah.
So and for everybody, I'm going to open the floor for questions after we get through this last question that I have for Vida. And remember, I want to do the raffle, for one of you lucky winners to have a marketing session with her, and then also introduce the next Mom Talk that's going to take place. So, Vida, what makes you a market minister? And then what are some tips that we all can use regardless of our brand or our business?
Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, the term marketplace minister, so there's this concept called the 7 mountains of influence, right? So this is the full scope and a really, really quick nugget. There's 7 mountains of influence, education, finance, family, business, 3 more. And someone basically came up with this way of looking at the world and how God has equipped us as believers to kind of take our place in the world. And so they came up with this concept called the 7 mountains of influence. And what was noted in this finding and this research is that ministry takes place for the most part outside of the church. The church is for equipping, like the church house. But ministry, for the most part, takes place every day. If I'm walking down the street and I see you, I may see you having a bad day, you're feeling sad, you may be down, it could be anything. If I feel that and I encounter you and I connect with you and we chat, I have an opportunity to minister to you right then, to encourage you. And so a lot of times we don't think about it like that. And so I realized that my space is not necessarily, it is in the pulpit, but it is not exclusively in the pulpit. And I am in the world interacting with people all the time, whether it's their business, whether it's in education or whatever. And so I'm having an opportunity to meet the needs of people outside of the church all the time. And especially when I started doing social media. And so my husband and I just kind of really, especially he does comedy, we've had more church and comedy clubs, that's our running joke, than when we used to pastor, and that's because that's what it's all about. And so, so that's the whole marketplace ministry piece. And as it relates to things that you can do as it relates to your brand or your business or your ministry, one thing, and I'm good with other people with this, but I'm just going to go ahead and be straight, transparent, and let you know this is my issue as well, is being consistent. Whatever it is that you're doing, remaining consistent with your posting. A lot of times for me, I have so many ideas that flood in. I'll be like, okay, I think I'm going to go this direction. I think I'm going to do that. That's actually something I am praying about right now. I'm like, all right, Lord, because I'm honoring my season. That's another thing. Honoring my season as a homeschool mom. I'm appreciative. I can remember praying before I was ever married and had kids that I would be able to stay home. Now, of course, you don't know under what parameters you end up in that situation, but hey, God is honoring that. And so I'm trying to honor this and the privilege of being able to be home with my children. And so as a result, that is sort of what steers how I use my time. So it makes me think, okay, Vida, what should I be doing? What should I not be doing? Where should I be putting my energy and not? But if you're clear on that, then remain consistent with whatever it is that you know that you're supposed to be doing. Facebook, Instagram, and then Pinterest. Yes, Pinterest. Oh, yeah. See, Pinterest is the one everybody is sleeping on, but Facebook leads in marketing, right? When I started on Facebook Lab about 5 or 6 years ago, I said if it were a country, it would be the third largest country. Now I think it will be the second largest country in the world. And it's a marketing engine. And of course, we know Facebook owns Instagram. They're two different platforms, so you operate on them differently. But if you're going to run ads or something like that, you're going to do that from Facebook. But being consistent and making sure that whatever message you're putting out there, that it's clear and that it benefits your audience. Are you meeting the needs of your audience? Like your health and wellness coach. And if you're talking about fiber all the time, right, and nobody wants to hear about fiber, well, like, they need to hear about it sometimes. Maybe that's not your focus for the platform. Knowing exactly what it is that you're supposed to be doing, creating great images. And one other thing is authenticity. So consistency, great imagery that kind of resonates with your audience, and then authenticity. Tyrone, that's my husband. He's always saying to me, Vida, people just want to see you just like this, the way you are, being real. He always says that when you get up in front of people, you get real professor-like. He said, just cut up the way you normally cut up and do what you normally do, because that's what people want. People want to know, okay, this is a real woman. She's dealing with real issues, and you can still be victorious. So authenticity is really big with whatever you're doing online. And if you are running a business, trying to get customers, if you are leading a ministry and you're trying to grow that ministry, you may want to think about running ads, especially if you have an absolute conversion at the end, meaning, something you want them to do, you want someone to take action on something. The ads are powerful and they don't have to cost that much. So that's the whole Facebook and Instagram. Blogging and Pinterest is real. So I'll give you an example. So let's take Mom Talk, for example. Pinterest is not a social network. It's another search engine like Google, right? So you do your post on Pinterest, you make sure you hashtag it, and you do Mom Talk, and people start repinning your stuff, coming to your website, seeing what you have going on. And that's how you build your following, because they're on there searching. Where Facebook and Instagram is with more education, entertainment, inspiration, Pinterest, they're on there searching. They're looking for a place to go.
I love that, because I didn't even think of Pinterest. I know a lot of people are talking about like LinkedIn to like connect with people now and stuff like that. But Pinterest, it really, see, I'm learning something new every day. And I had other people minister to me earlier because it was a rough day. And I shared that on social media. But thank you. You have been sharing a lot of gold nuggets with us. I hope everyone's taking notes. I'm going to do 3 things really quick. So the first I'm going to do is I'm going to do the drawing so that one of the lucky people that are on this call is going to know that they'll get the session with you. And then I'm going to announce the next person on the call, and then we're going to open the floor up to questions. We have a few minutes, so I don't want to take up more time for my part, because I know there's probably a lot of questions and the noise there. I had a paper there. But I'm putting everybody's name and number in here, whatever I'm seeing on here, because you're here live, and I'm going to unmute everyone so that you can respond accordingly if it's you, okay? So, oh, maybe I cannot unmute everybody. If you muted yourself, you have to unmute yourself. So I'm shaking everything in the hat. Everybody's information is in there, not looking, picking someone. And the person with the 813 number, you are the winner of a coaching session with our guest mom, Vida, marketing session. So who actually on 813 number?
I am Shalon.
Oh, congratulations, Shalon.
Thank you.
And Shalon is consistent with the posting. So yeah, she is. She uses some techniques that I be taking notes like, oh. So Shalon, I'm gonna connect you together so that you can get your session from Vida. Okay, congratulations.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. I'm gonna put you on mute really quick because for next month, and then some people are not. I'm not able to put people on mute, but it's okay. So next month, I'm going to have the co-founders of District Motherhood and a big event called the Mom Friends, as well as some other dope events that happen in the DMV area, which is, those who don't know, is DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And they're going to be the speakers, and the day is going to be Wednesday, March 22nd at 9 p.m. And what they're going to be giving away as the giveaway for one of the lucky live participants is a ticket to their day 2 of the Mom Friends weekend. So the Mom Friends weekend sells out in minutes. So this is a hot commodity, and I already booked my hotel room. It's my time that weekend. So be on that call, and for those who sign up through Support Unlimited for Life.com, you will be getting the login information once I send that out. But without further ado, we do have about 5 more minutes. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions for Vida. We do have a time limit on here, so I can't unmute everybody, but if you are unmuted and you have a question, and if you are still muted and have a question, unmute yourself.
Hi, my name is Benita. This is my first time doing one of the sessions, and it's very nice to meet you. I wanted to know, just how do you stay positive every day? Like, what's your phrase that, pushes you through the hard times as a mom?
Girl. Many times I will say to my husband, especially, and this is because of business, I'm always like, he's never seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging bread. Like, I just say that over and over again. Or I always say, Lord, I know you have called me to direct energy toward destiny. These are all things that has been downloaded in my spirit over time. And I'll just repeat them back to myself. Sometimes I get a Bible verse, trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding, especially when you feel like I'm about to lose it up in here. You're like, oh, I'm feeling crazy and I can't lean into my own understanding, but all my ways acknowledge him. All right, I'm acknowledging you, Lord. I really need you to help me. I really need you to, take over. And then I'm reminded through things that he's done in the past. We all have times, and we all have times in our life and situations in our life where God has shown up and come through. And those times when we're feeling down, we have to reflect on those things. And it can be difficult, but that's because we have to make a decision to renew our minds. So those are the kind of things that I think about. I like to exercise. So I used to teach Zumba, but, go get on the treadmill or go walking. A lot of times I just get out in the fresh air and walk. It will help alleviate a lot of different things. And sometimes I had a mom say to me the other day, she said, girl, sometimes I just got to scream. I just got to step outside and just holler. And then, so she's just figuring out, and there's no wrong, thing. It's whatever you do, whatever your thing is, whatever, because you may not like coffee, and I may love coffee, and coffee may help me kind of relax. You may like matcha tea. So it's understanding, the things that you like and then employing them. But that talking to yourself, speaking life, that's what I even say that to my boys. They start talking to each other like, speak life. I can't hear it. Speak life. Because what we say in our mouth really does create our life.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you for that question, Benita. Anybody else have any questions for Vida? Feel free to unmute yourself. I see some people. Let me unmute you.
You hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Hi, Vida. This is Sylvia.
Hi, Sylvia.
And I'm good. So that was a good question, by the way, because and I'm glad to hear that because I feel like I still consider myself a new mom. I have my 3-year-old, and I feel like with him, I'm always learning. So it's good to know that we are, there's other women out there other moms trying to find ways of how to balance. I think balance everything. That's where I'm at right now, where I'm trying to balance everything. Right now, recently, I was trying to, I heard I like the little techniques you gave us. I wish I would have had some time extra because I actually trying to create a brand in real estate. And unfortunately, a family emergency happened recently. And right when I was about to, you could say, jump in the ocean and go ahead and start this branding, this happens. So right now I'm in the middle where I'm like I feel like every time I'm about to start something, I feel like I always got to go 10 times harder.
Mm-hmm.
And as a mom, now I'm a mom. So it's not like you could get these little, when you have those moments, those days that you just want to relax, just lay down and kind of reflect. It's hard, but I think Lent season couldn't come in a better time for me. I think because I was not really in a good place maybe a week or 2 weeks ago emotionally. But I thank the Lord. I'm very, very, very just like you. The way you speak about God is I'm the same way. I feel like if with God I would not be talking to you right now, because I probably would have been in that little dark cloud that I was like maybe a few days ago. So Lent season couldn't come in a better time right now. I want to know how long you've been with your spirituality with. Like when did you find yourself like God was calling you?
Okay, so I grew up in church, which doesn't mean anything necessarily, except I'm just giving you a timeline of how long I've been, when I started going to church. I to Christ at a young age. I think I always knew I had a call to ministry, but I thought it would be a lay kind of call. And then when I met my husband 7,000 miles away from home, and I didn't know he had been a pastor since he was really young. And I realized, okay, Lord, you're really calling me to ministry. And I'm just straight up, y'all, right here on this phone. I've been running from ministry for over 2 years. So that's a big, it's real. And
wow.
So I'm sitting and act like I got it all together. Only recently
I know.
Lord, I surrender. And there's something in surrendering. And a lot of times we don't want to surrender because it could be a myriad of different reasons, right? You have the world system, you have God's system, and we're indoctrinated, ladies, into the world system because we got educated in the world system, we maneuver throughout the world system, and so that's why the Bible talks about being transformed in your mind. And so we are in this world for sure, but we're not of it. But when you're indoctrinated in it, you gotta start checking yourself, okay, that's not working. That's not working. I'm sitting here with 2 degrees from 2 of the top schools in the nation, and I would be years ago, I would say, why is it so hard to find a job? Whenever we feel pressure, whenever we're in the pressure cooker, God is working something out. And the easiest thing to do, if you're a type A and a fighter, you don't want to give up because you feel like you're giving up. But God will let you know the difference between giving up and when you need to surrender. And what I realized is that the worst with God is better than the best without Him. Hands down, right?
Yeah.
with is better than the best. And I just made a decision that I'm just going to keep, applying the truth, every answer to our broken heart, to our disappointment, to our financial strain, to our relationship strain. Every answer to everything is in the Word, and He wants to meet our needs. He wants to fix it. He has a plan. Girl, I can go on because I knew what my life was going to be. And let's just be that we can be dropped there right there, and it ain't nothing I thought it was going to be. I already told you I wasn't going to be homeschooling. I thought that was for crazy people.
That's a plan for all of us, and He knows what you may not know.
I mean, like right now, I'm like I said, I was trying to start my branding in real estate. I wasn't even sure to stick with the same page, and I've been consulting with different people, and people have told me, no, you should stick with the same page, and maybe make it positive, like you said, be consistent, and maybe make it authentic, and all this stuff, and that's where I was at, and then this happened. But I do.
And the enemy sees that you're about to level up, and this is real. This is for all of us. When you are making a change in your life and a shift, the pushback is real, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood. It's not about what you see. So there is a real force against our come up, against our leveling up, against our progression, against our destiny, against our purpose. It's real. And it's real because we're sitting here talking about how we feel. We just us, and we have to, as one of our friends, you put your head down and you just keep swimming. You just gotta be like, okay, I'm just going, if it's messy or whatever, I'm just gonna go, because I know if I just make it through, there's something for me. God, for every lemon in your life, God provides the aid. For every lemon in your life, God provides the aid.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I do, lately my prayers, I have been saying, I talk to Him and I just be like, God, I know, that's Him. He always works on me. He never gives up. He never lets go of my hand. I tell you that much. Yes, I was in a little dark cloud at the moment, and I kept saying, but why is it that right now when I'm doing this and a lot, like why I always feel like I got to go 10 times harder, right? But then I just said, you know what, God, maybe the devil was trying to take the best out of me right now, but I know that he is not going to win this. We're going to win this together. I know you got a bigger purpose for me, and right now I just got to learn how to, like, basically, like you said, swim it out right now, swim it out into, I balance everything back out, get myself back into this, the light, and if I stayed in contact with Him, and because of that, today I'm in a better place. I went, like you said, I actually went out jogging today. That fresh air was everything to me, because, when you're trying to, oh my God, it was everything to me. It was great. It was really, I feel great, I feel like, because I have, now I got to take care of my baby. My husband got into an accident. I got to take care of him. Here we now now I got to just get back into, Sylvia, when we're going to start this again, because I just feel like I got to learn how to balance it again, and have, because I feel like the enemy definitely try to take the best, but I know God has a bigger purpose, that I know, and I feel it very sure in my heart. And right now, by you talking to the way you talk to me, I know that was a sign from God telling me to keep going and not stop.
Amen to that. And Sylvia, thank you for sharing, because I know I didn't know everything that was going on. A saying that I use, that I lean towards, pace yourself will push yourself. So I've been having difficult times, and both of my parents passed away, and my mom recently, and I could have had fallen off as a mom. We can't, but pushing myself to do things, and this has been a season of so many fruits of my labor. Have been consistent and doing things when I can. Some days when I need to shut down, I do that, and I just express what I need to do and ask for help. So just continue to keep doing what you're doing. I love the fact you keep coming up here for the different topics, and I look forward to seeing you at the big asses. You were one of the winners from our last Mom Talk.
Yes, I know. I can't wait.
Yeah, so that's another big thing that's taking place. If everyone doesn't know, the
Yeah.
big March 21st. You will see Vida and I there.
Oh, nice.
Have
Okay.
some cool new updates to share with you here, as well as some other cool speakers. But I know we have 2 minutes left, 2.5, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. So, Vida, for one, I want to thank everyone for coming. Remember, the next Mom Talk is Wednesday, March 22nd at 9 p.m. But Vida, any closing words you want to leave with us before you head out, and before we all head out and get kicked out?
Yeah, do what it is that you know you are supposed to be doing. If you feel like your life is going in a different direction and you really feel that pulling, just do it, whether it's in your child's education, whether it's in your career, whatever it is. Follow what it is that you're supposed to be doing, and you won't be disappointed.
Thank you, everyone. I am Crystal Galladay, aka Coach Chris MG, and I'm signing off, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.